pronunciation is at least as systematic as grammar, if not more so. And one of our problems is we keep comparing the spoken language with the written language and finding the spoken language wanting. But in fact, it's the written language which is rhubarb. It really is. It's poorly constructed and it poorly reflects the systematic spoken language that we've got. That needs getting your head round as a concept. But I'll be stressing in this few minutes and this afternoon that the spoken language is the primary form of the language. It was there first. As native speakers, we acquire it years before we get round to learning the written language. And we couldn't, in fact, even begin to learn the written language if we hadn't already successfully acquired the spoken language. By looking at the essential aspects of pronunciation and phonology, which are very simple, very straightforward, we can score a double whammy in the classroom. We can, in fact, improve our learners' pronunciation, their confidence, what goes with being an effective speaker of a language, but also we can have a really big impact on the hidden skill, the secret skill, listening. And one of the things that I think as a profession we've got to work on is developing listening skills in our learners. And I believe that the key to improving listening skills is, in fact, improving pronunciation. I've made a list of the characteristics of writing. Obviously, it's visible, it's visual, it's graphic, it's permanent, it's conservative. A very important aspect of writing is that when we teach writing to our children in school, we teach them to write as we did. Writing, notice, is delivered in words. We know how many words we're looking at because they've got a lovely little space between them. They're clearly delineated. But notice that when we speak in utterances. But notice that when we speak in utterances. But notice that when we speak in utterances. There aren't any spaces between the words. My biggest problem around the world, in fact, is that wherever I go, the written form of the language is always the prestige form. If you get a qualification in English, it's because you can read and write it, not because you can speak it and hear it. We have badly neglected the important half of the language. Speaking is acoustic. Importantly, it's ephemeral. That's one of the major problems of listening, the fact that the text disappears as fast as it comes up. Spoken language has got low prestige, but I remind everybody it's primary. It was there first. It was always there. And it's acquired. And really the big message that's coming out of this is that our writing system, and I don't know much about Irish, but I think you're as bad as we are. Our writing system is a very, very poor reflection of our speaking system. Our speaking system's 100% systematic, very simple, really, but our writing system is appallingly out of date, it's appallingly inaccurate, and it's appallingly misleading to our learners. And as far as I can see, we native speakers of English can deal with any kind of mispronunciation except word stress, and it throws us completely. So if I often got accused by a Swiss student in my class of not being sufficiently serious, and I thought he was talking about some kind of disease, and I ignored it. I ignored it for a term, and then the penny dropped, and I realised he was saying that I wasn't sufficiently serious, but simply putting the stress in the wrong place. Now, if you reflect on last time that happened to you, it's worth asking yourself, was the stuff I couldn't deal with, was embedded in it a number of words where the student had put the stress in the wrong place? As English becomes more and more an international language, there is a tendency for international varieties to develop, And often they're marked by having unusual word stress. And it's I think we native speakers of English are the only users of English who can't cope with that. All the others do very well.